All right, what's going on YouTube? So back with another 25-06 with the Savage and some hand loads using the 85 grain Nosler ballistic tip. Those guys right there. Used all Nosler brass, no pressure signs, everything looked good. Federal 210 primers, and we used IMR 4350 and Reloader 15. Two powders we used today. And so starting off with Reloader 15, we got, so all our groups are 5-shot groups. First one here is a 5-shot group of a 2.25 inch group, average of 32.43, ES of 53, standard deviation of 12. So, yeah, not really where we want to start out, but that's okay. It's in the low end of the charge. Next one is a better looking group. It's a 1.4 inch group, average velocity of 32.93, ES of 20, standard deviation of 7. And so you can see it trying to group. You got 3 right there and then 2 up there. It's trying to group. And then here we've got 5 shots. And this is a better group. This is a group that I think I want to explore because my ES is my standard deviation is really good. And I don't really have vertical spraying, it's more horizontal. But an average group of 1.44 and not average, but the group was a 1.44. Average velocity of 3,331, ES of 11, and standard deviation of 3. And this is still Reloader 15. Reloader 15's always been a pretty good powder for me. I don't have a whole lot of it, so I'm pretty stingy with it. But that's a pretty good one there. And then here, for our last group, we have a 5-shot group of a 1.3 inch group, average velocity of 3,344, ES of 9, and standard deviation of 3. So these last 2 groups definitely were improving a little as I went up in velocity. Since I didn't see any pressure signs, I may go another grain. I have not decided yet. But all of these would work for pronghorn and blacktail, or going out environment shooting to 200, 300 yards. But not quite what I'm hoping for. You know, once again, we're running a $300 rifle, Savage Axis budget build, and kind of just seeing how it'll do. So, IMR 4350 has always been a pretty great powder for me. And so we have an average group, this is all 5 shots, average group of 1.39. That one just kicked out right there, otherwise we would have had a pretty good group. Average velocity of 3,063 feet, ES of 15, and standard deviation of 6. The IMR 4350 seems to be doing really well with standard deviation and extreme spread on this stuff. So, on to the second group of a 1.31 inch group, average velocity of 3,095 feet, an ES of 20, and standard deviation of 8. So pretty good 4 shots there. 5th one kicked out. And these are a little slower. This stuff's burning a little. It's not quite as fast. And I did start pretty low on the charge weight and worked my way up. And I think there's still 2 grains to play with. But all my research have been the slow, kind of the lower end of the velocity is where the accuracy has been, and it's kind of interesting for that. So 5 shots again, a 1.95 inch group, basically a 2 inch group, 2 in the same hole right there, and then the rest kind of all over. Average velocity of 3,151, an extreme spread of 19, and a standard deviation of 8. All right, this target got kind of beat up a little bit here. We got 5 shots, and we got a group size of 1.64, an average velocity of 3,193, ES of 37, and standard deviation of 14. So, kind of like what I talked about on my research, the faster you go, you kind of get the group is basically coming apart. So it seems to be a little bit at lower end of the velocity. This stuff seems to shoot better, and that's totally fine. But with an 85 grain bullet, you might as well just go to a 100 grain bullet. So kind of a moot point, kind of I feel. But so 5 shots on this one, a 2.19 inch group, an average velocity of 3,251, extreme spread of 28, and standard deviation of 11. So that being said, I kind of probably won't test this bullet and powder combination again because it is on the lower end of the velocity. This kind of bullet I'd like to see around 3,300 feet per second, but it was a good test. I got all my velocities with my Garmin. If you don't own one of these, you should pick one up. I guess I should turn it off. Probably be a good idea so I'm not killing my battery. But the thing is incredibly easy to use. I was out for 6 hours, almost 6.5 hours shooting, and the battery life lasted a long time. I make these Garmin holders. They're on my Etsy shop, Extruded Customs. If you guys want one, pick one up. Other than that, brass looked really good. No complaints on that. And we're gonna go ahead and get those annealed and get prepped to shoot some more stuff. So stay tuned for more 25-06. All right, guys, appreciate it.